A survey by the Center for the Future of Arizona and the Gallup organization identifies 7 shared public values that most affect the everyday lives of Arizona residents. Tonight, we're taking a look at civics. Recent data shows less than half of Americans can name the 3 branches of government, and only 25% could identify a right guaranteed by the First Amendment. Producer Shauna Fisher and photographer Ron Bruce introduce us to a summer camp that teaches the ABCs of government.
This is not your typical summer camp.
E-A-G-L-E, Eagles, Eagles, loud and free.
Instead of creating crafts, campers are creating campaigns. And instead of learning TikTok dances, they're learning about democracy.
E-A-G-L-E, Eagles fly to victory.
Welcome to Camp O'Connor. The program is put on by the Sandra Day O'Connor Institute for Democracy. It was conceived by the late Supreme Court Justice during a lunch with the Institute's interns.
Over the course of that lunch, she asked them if you had something to do over again, when you were in school, what might it be? They all almost universally said, we wish we would have had more civics, but more than that, we wish we could have experienced civics.
Now in its 6th year, the merit-based camp is open to middle schoolers from all over the country. Sarah Suggs, who leads the Institute, says research shows early civics education can lead to lifelong community engagement and more.
There are studies that suggest that a higher voter registration in a given area it bodes well for a lower crime rate. We think civics education in general can make a difference.
8th grader Ryland Engel says he signed up because he has an interest in politics and making a difference for others.
I think that it's important for people to learn civics and to understand how our government works, because without it, you're really lost. If you're educated, though, you can realize that the government works for you, not against you.
Vivian Murray came from California, where she says her school doesn't teach much about civics at all.
I wanted to learn more about the government at state and federal levels because I have an interest in getting involved in our society and making a difference.
As it turns out, Vivian's story is a common one. In 2001, the No Child Left Behind Act, designed to close the achievement gap among students, required social studies or civic standards be taught in classrooms, but was vague on how schools must achieve that. According to research, only 7 states require a full year of civics in order to graduate high school. 31 states, including Arizona, require a single semester, and 13 states don't have any requirement at all. The week-long camp is structured around the 3 branches of government. Mornings are for field trips, which include a tour of the state Supreme Court and a visit to the state capitol to meet with legislators and understand how laws are passed.
We weren't just talking about these concepts in abstract, we were actually going there and seeing where the decisions were made, seeing where the government happened.
There's even a private meeting with Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, a highlight for Vivian.
For me as a young woman to see women in top offices like that, it's just really incredible because I've never seen that for myself. Like, I've heard about it, I've read about it in books.
The final field trip is part of Citizenship Day. The campers head to the Maricopa County Election Center to learn about elections and voting.
We're going to have you do a few exercises that are going to give you a sense of exactly how to vote.
They fill out pretend ballots and collect I voted stickers. And then it's off for a tour with County Recorder Stephen Richer to see how ballots are secured, counted, and verified.
It's a very cool experience to be able to see how these people, operate our government and make sure everyone has a right to vote.
The camp culminates in a mock presidential convention. On their first day, the campers are split into 4 groups.
They each nominate someone akin to a primary, and then on Friday they build up to the convention and the nomination for the Stars and Stripes Party candidate for the presidency.
The campers spend afternoons working on candidate speeches and posters. Both Vivian and Ryland are the candidates for their groups and say the experience of running for office opened their eyes to how politics can be civil.
I was just not expecting it to be such a welcoming, open place where I felt like I could share my values with people and they would share theirs.
I feel as if, a lot of people just demonize the other side and don't provide a lot of understanding and respect towards one another. And if you get into civics early enough, you can foster a respect for one another and for civil debate.
In the end, Vivian won the candidacy, but both campers say the real victory is about something much more important.
The thing that Camp O'Connor has really taught me about the government is that no matter how young you are, even if you don't have 20+ years of experience in our government or law or politics, you can make a difference.
To me, to be a citizen of this country and to be involved in my community means the world, because we're all involved in something incredible. I think that it's really awesome to be a citizen of the United States, and I'm really proud of it.
And to learn more about Camp O'Connor, you can visit the O'Connor Institute's website and click on the Civics Education tab.